Hello everyone, welcome to the Simperion IAS YouTube channel. In this video, we'll continue our discussion with the chapter Vulnerable Sections of the GS1 and GS2, GS1 Society and GS2 Social Justice. Already we have covered the topic of women, SC and ST and all the related topics related to that. Today we will continue with OBC, other backward classes. Initially we are given a definition of OBC. Then we are given a constitutional safeguards for the OBC. We have covered Article 340, Article 15 subpart 4, Article 16 subpart 4, Article 46 that deals with the DPSP, and 102nd Amendment, that is Constitution of National Commission for Backward Classes. Then we have covered a legal provisions for the OBC. The Mandal Commission, the Central Educational Institution Act, that is 27% reservation, and reservation in the state services. Then we have covered data related to the OBC. We are given 5 points. Then we have covered issues. What are the problems or challenges faced by the OBC? Here we have covered again 4 points: underrepresentations in the services, education gap, economic hardship, and regional disparity. And next we have covered the government schemes for the welfare of OBCs, the scholarship schemes, Ambedkar Educational Loan Scheme, Mahila Samriddhi Yojana, National Backward Class Finance Development Corporation schemes. Next we have covered a topic of EWS, economically weaker sections. We are given initially definition, what is the purpose of constituting the EWS section, that is 10% reservation. Next, what is the criteria to be EWS? Next we have covered the topic of evolution of EWS, VP Singh proposal, Narasimha Rao attempts, and 1972 Supreme Court rulings. And then we have covered 101rd constitutional amendment, that is 2009, which led to 10% reservation. And also the recent Supreme Court, currently it is challenged that with the reservation to the EWS, it crosses the 50% cap for reserved seats, total reserved seat, including SC, ST, OBC, etc. I think it violates that. So there is that, because of that, it's in the court, it's challenged in the court. We have covered even that. And that is also regarding the Indira Shenoy case rulings. Next we have covered a topic of children, adolescents and youths. That's mainly a children, vulnerable sections, and adolescent and youth. Initially we are given a definition, then next we are given the facts and figures. Next, a constitutional provisions for the safeguards of children. Up next we have covered a legal and institutional safeguards for the child safety, the legal safeguards, POCSO, the Child Labour Act, Juvenile Justice Act, Prohibition of Child Marriage, PCPND Act, National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, and Integrated Child Protection Schemes. Next we have covered what are the issues faced by the children, very normal issues usually known to the aspirants, that is malnutrition, the malnutrition, the child labor, child marriage, education access, sexual abuse, mortality rates, that is IMR, under 5 mortality, and mainly the under 5 mortality, the gender discrimination, health access. Next we have covered a topic of child labor, the causes for child labor, socio-economic impact of child labor, and way forward. See, very general topics. What is important to get marks is crisp points, relevant points, facts or facts, examples, reports, quotes, constitutional acts, legal provisions, quoting schemes, etc. will fetch better marks compared to others. So the points are very general, very easy points. Please join our Telegram group to get this PDF. Next we have covered socio-economic consequences of abolition of child labor, government steps taken to regulate the child labor or abolish the child labor. Next, one of the important act, that is Prohibition of Child Labor Act 2016 Amendment Act. We have covered 6 important provisions. Next we have covered what are the criticism with respect to the With respect to 2016 Act, we have covered criticism. Next, we have covered schemes for children in distress, Koya Paya portal, the child line, POXO, e-box, scheme for girl child, that is Udan, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, Ladli Lakshmi Yojana, Kanya Shri Yojana, that is West Bengal, Bhagya Lakshmi scheme of Karnataka. Next we have covered National Child Policy of 2013. We are given a key provisions of the National Child Policy. We are given 6 important provisions, and what are the positives of the National Child Policy 2013 and what are the negative provisions. We have covered that as well. Next covered what are the way forward or what are the measures that is necessary to deal with challenges faced by children. We have covered prioritizing education, eradicating child labor, combating malnutrition, protecting children from violence and abuse, investing in the mental health, and also the sustainable financing. We have also covered the best practices like protection if take example protection of the children from violence. We have covered the POXCO, Sarva Shikshana Abhiyan, etc. The best practices which can be expanded or better or effective implementation so that it leads to a better results. Next, we have covered a topic of child marriage in the vulnerable section children. We are given the data why child marriage persists in the society. We are given 5 points. Consequences of child marriage, 5 points. That is health risk, educational disruption, economic unemployment, domestic violence, intergenerational poverty. Next, we have covered way forward to deal with child marriage. Next, we have covered how child marriage perpetuates a cycle of poverty. We have already read. Intergenerational poverty, child marriage, socio-economic impact will be intergenerational poverty. Next, drug abuse among the children in India. We have covered few points. We have covered reason for widespread drug abuse in the society or among the child. We are given one of the geographical reason as well. India is very close to 2 famous drug growing or narcotic regions, that is Golden Crescent and Golden Triangle. Next, what are the government initiatives to fight against drug abuse among the children. We have covered that points as well. Next, we have covered what are the best practices in drug trafficking awareness in India. What are drug free India campaign, that is one of the best practice, and what are the way forward that can be adopted by the government, or what are the measures necessary to deal with a menace of drugs. Next topic we are discussing in this is child trafficking in India. We are given a definition of child trafficking, specific data related to the child trafficking. We have discussed the causes of child trafficking, schemes to prevent already taken up by the government, or schemes already started by the government to fight against child trafficking, that is Ujjwala scheme, operational Smile, integrated child protection scheme, and what are the way forward, what are the measures even necessary, even after doing whatever governments have done, what are the steps further necessary in the future to deal with a child trafficking. Next topic we have covered is rehabilitation of the street children's, rehabilitation of street children, the homeless children on the streets. So we are given the facts, we are given a causes for the people on streets or being homeless or on the being on the streets. We have got government, again the government schemes already that launched by the government to deal with rehabilitation of street children in India. Next, another important topic which also almost comes in the vulnerable section in the topic of children is National Youth Policy. The recent one is National Youth Policy 2021. It deals with providing employment, health and well-being, social justice, youth participation, environment and technology, and what are its goals as well. So unlocking the potential of youth to advance for the advancement of India. We are given one diagram related to the National Youth Policy 2021. Next, we have covered the few facts related to the youth in India and what are the issues faced by the youths in India. So one of the quote by the eminent personality, Honorable Prime Minister, young people are key to our nation's future. The youth of India are our strength and they are our future. That is related to the topic of youth. So in this we have discussed the topic of OBC, that is other backward classes, EWS, other weaker sections of society. We discussed the topic of children. In that we discussed the mainly important topic of child labor, child marriage, drug abuse among the children, and child trafficking. The national children policy and the national youth policy of 2021, and what are the issues faced by the youths, and for all we have discussed cause, consequences, way forward. See, that's a pattern we have followed while making notes. It's one of the crisp notes you can find in the market, very crisp, very relevant to the UPSC. It is based on the syllabus and also the PYQ last 44 years. We did it after analyzing last 44 years PYQs. So we will in the next 1 or 2 days, I think tomorrow, in the next second or third video from this, we will come up with analysis of 2024 mains, how UPSC repeated questions from the PYQ, how UPSC keeps on repeating questions from same themes, how few topics or themes are more important than others, how 10 out of 10 times in the last 10 years there was a question on inclusive growth, 7 out of 10 times there is a question on land reforms, 4 out of 10 times in the last 10 years, 4 or 5 times, 5 times out of last 10 year question on citizen charter. Third time the question in last 10 years is on Chola architecture. Last year question on Vedic society, again question is on with the Vedic society. In the last 10 years, I think again 4 to 5 times the question is on urban floods. These are not coincidences. So UPSC has the important topics which it keeps on asking the questions. The same themes are repeated again and again. So we will make a very detailed video on that. Thank you. Please, thank you for watching the video. Please join our Telegram group. The description will be, the link to the Telegram group will be in the descriptions. Please press bell button so that whenever we upload a new video, so that you will get a notification. Thank you.